Got a little follow-up on yesterday's rant. Basically, what Mr. Mesa has done is he has pretty much put an attempt to try and do what he does with a lot of people. He shame someone into silence and kind of run up against YouTube's stated policy of being for everybody, so he can't really single out Crowder, especially when they did their third investigation. He didn't violate a damn rule. Unfortunately, to try and deliver on their attempt to pander to this little twit, it's put a nice big broad target on everybody. And the ironic thing is it will not affect Steven Crowder at all. Yeah, demonetize him all they want. He doesn't get the money. He doesn't really make that much money off of YouTube. He gets it from other sources. So, Carlos, you accomplished diddly squat. Congratulations. But also, you just made it that much harder for guys like me, who, again, never heard of you 48 hours ago and really don't care to ever again, if all possible. Let's say I just want to start doing, reviews of classic Star Trek episodes. And we come up against Patterns of Force. And I can't do it because it talks about Nazis. Wouldn't that be a nice little kick in the head? I can't do a review of a Star Trek episode because this little neeny little twit can't handle somebody saying nasty words about him, his own nasty words about himself. And I also couldn't follow up with that Enterprise two-parter, I think it was Stormfront, because it has Nazis in it. See, the little thing of unintended consequences, What advice, Carlos? You got a problem with someone on YouTube? Start a channel, okay? Learn what the hell you're saying. YouTube does it. You don't know diddly squat about YouTube does because you're not on YouTube. You don't have a channel. You don't create videos. You don't know what it takes to do a channel on this and maintain it. Get your ass on here. Start. It's very easy. You just, create an account and you're off and running. You're already shown you know how to use a damn camera. So start a channel. See if anybody bothers to watch you. These little twits keep acting like they're the majority. You're mate, guy. Gays in general, maybe 10%. And he's a minority within a minority. Okay. Problem is, he's very, very vocal. So he'll scream to high heaven so somebody just throws him out just to shut him the hell up. But, yeah, you just pissed off the wrong group, though, guy. Because it's not just conservative. You've pissed off a whole bunch of eyes on your side of the ledger, too. Because you're a little scat. You're trying to use a flamethrower to kill a cockroach, okay? And you weren't even aiming at the cockroach. So that's where we're at, guys. That's why I decided, I had to vent below a few gaskets. You're going to have a stroke. No, this is how I stopped from me having a stroke. Okay. You got to let stuff out, Let us fester. That's when you have the stroke, You were so quiet. Well, yeah, if he yelled a few times, he wouldn't have had a stroke. And seriously, I think, as Vox and all them, this is the way they do it. They just, start shaming people into silence or attacking their, income or, their sponsors or whatever. And I think we've finally hit the bridge too far, guys, okay? Enough is enough. This kind of tactic needs to be shut down one way or the other. As far as, government regulation, no. Not the way the companies are at. Not the way Zuckerberg wants it and the way I think YouTube wants. Not the way they're asking for it. There should be some regulation, but in the sense of no, but you stay out of the way, as long as just a few very bright lines that do not cross, like doxing somebody, physically threatening them, type of thing. Very obvious, blatant stuff where you have to start interpreting a rule to try and bring in this. Wow, that can be no. If it's not outright now, there. As in, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to come to your house at this address and strangle you with your own intestines. Unless it's on that kind of level, no. Hands off. Protected speech, guys. because you want to like your platform. We have no bias. Well, the thing is, the second you start showing the bias, which you have, YouTube, admit it, then guess what? You lost all credibility on that front. You got a long ways to earn that back, okay? Because I'm trying to make a point to keep the politics out of this channel, okay? Because again, there's guys better at it than I am. There's more, and I would just be repeating what they say anyway for the most part. You don't need me saying, me too, yeah, I like that one, But it's kind of like when on the old AOL message boards. If you guys, will recognize these because they tagged along from those old days. I would try to remember what I'd heard earlier on like the radio about a certain subject, but then realize, wait, let's just go to go online, copy and paste. There's a response right there. It saved a lot of time. It saved me a lot of aggravation trying to figure out what the hell is it. And, there it is right there. Boom. But it also saved me a lot of typing. I realized there are better people to do this than I am. But that's why I figured, I would like to do that sort of thing. But, it's got to be a subject where I have a firm handle on it. I can and hopefully bring something that no one else is. And that's why I figured, okay, with regard to Star Trek and Star Wars and certain areas of comics, yeah, I can bring that perspective, and I can do that. Like shorthand, it's becoming actually some guy on the call me the Pat Buchanan of Star Trek. And I'm going to start with the Rush Limbaugh of Star Trek, Frank. But that's that kind of shorthand thing, to be that kind of pundit. Now, obviously, I got a long ways to go before I got that kind of influence. I was just barely, over 1,000 subscribers, trying to hold on to that. And I would hope that once I get in a position where I can up the production standards here, that hopefully that will follow, and we'll get the numbers to really back it up, and I can start making a success of this. As it is, it's really a lot of putting the ducks in a row and waiting for the final thing to get in line. But now, thanks to a little weenie who can't take a joke, who apparently was never taught the old phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." One of those little, entitled twice, idiots. It's like, yes, words are violence. No, words are words, okay? Words are sound waves with some intent behind, but they only have the power you give them, Carlos, okay? And since about 90% of what Crowder was throwing back at you was your own words, you got no... And again, for the umpteenth time, that shirt did not say socialism is for fags. It says socialism is for figs. And they had a picture of the figs to drive it home. You can imply all you want. That's not what this shirt says. Okay? Tempted to get one myself just to spite you. You kind of go and think, repeat it all you want. Doesn't change the fact that's not what the shirt says. Okay? But so much of the stuff, and again, about 90% of what Crowder was doing was just pointing out where you were wrong about things. But no, you can't be wrong. I'm a gay asthmatic, whatever, Where are your answers to come through and who you bought in the bedroom has nothing to do with whether or not you're right or wrong there, guy, okay? Two separate things. It's the same thing of why, believe it or not, there are gay Republicans. There's the old Wildcat Republicans. Yes, some people, have realized that who you sleep with has nothing to do with wanting to lower your taxes. It basically, it's bottom line, freedom of speech. Okay? And certain people thinking that only applies to them. They can say anything they want, but that no one can respond. That's not the way it works. And also, it's like the whole thing about hate speech. Who can be in favor of hate? It's hate. You don't want to be in favor of something called hate speech, do you? Well, the thing is, what the hell is hate speech? The term has no real meaning, okay? It comes down to what I consider hateful is hate speech. Well, what you consider hateful could, Let's put it this way. It's kind of like definition of a treasonous act. You know, all depends on who's in power and who you're going against. Because from the British perspective, this is a nation of treason, of traitors. You know? We betrayed the British crown. We incited rebellion. And it took a lot of lives and a lot of negotiating and several years to get that one wiped off the record. You know? But it's still, you know, doesn't change the fact we rebelled. So from the perspective of the British Crown at the time, the Declaration of Independence was hate speech. So yes, it's a stupid term, okay? It's a justification for stuff you don't like. Well, guess what? Stuff you don't like, that's what needs protecting. That's why there's a First Amendment in the first place. To protect stuff that people don't necessarily like, but sometimes have to hear. And that is now in peril because one little weenie, who's not even on YouTube, decided to have a temper tantrum because Stephen Crowder said some mean things. He's mean to me, Mommy. Make it stop. So, like I said, class action lawsuit sounds good to me. I might, whether or not it's possible, I don't know. A lot of it might have to do with some kind of congressional action, changing YouTube and Facebook, changing their status, because they get away with it saying they're just a platform and they're not biased. Well, the thing is, they're showing bias now, or they're blatantly showing bias. So one idea that's being is like remove that protection of just being a platform and make them a publisher, and suddenly they're now liable against, for people suing them. They're vulnerable to being sued by the creators for meddling with their free speech rights. And the hope is that, fear of those lawsuits that are just waiting in the wings will get them to shape up and leave us the hell alone. And that's been pointed out by YouTube was built on independent creators. The whole thing was broadcast yourself. But the second, within a minute or so of Google buying them, they start cozying up to the big broadcasters, the CNNs, and suddenly it's like, no, we don't need those little boys anymore. We're gonna be TV 2.0. That's why everyone rallied to PewDiePie during the T-Series thing. It was a microcosm of the whole thing. The big bad corporation against the independent creator. And having fun while we're doing it too. That was kind of fun with watching PewDiePie and T-Series go back and forth. And in the end, I think PewDiePie picked up like 10 million subscribers in the process. What are they going to do when it hits 100 million? What kind of trophy are they going to give him that one? They had to make up one for the last one. That's milestone. At this point, I'll just be, tickled pink if I get to that 100,000, to get that silver play button. But really, guys, this is important. It sounds like, it sounds ridiculous, and it is on several levels. It's stupid beyond belief. But that's the world we live in. We're stupid, whiny little, man babies who can't take a joke, can't handle. I guess the overall point of this whole thing is, one, if you can't handle people making snarky comments about you or throwing their own words back at you when you said something stupid, perhaps the internet isn't for you. Okay? Because in a large part, the internet is really like high school, even junior high, except on a global scale. And if you had trouble in junior high, then you're going to have trouble on the internet. So it's like, just cut your losses now and just stay in your room and talk to your teddy bear. But if you do want to join in the arena of ideas, as it's been called, then prepare to have your ideas challenged, okay? hypothetically here, but you cannot simultaneously be for freedom and expression while trying to severely curtail it for others, okay? Either for free speech or over you're censoring people, okay? Don't try and say there's a middle road. There isn't. Now, before this thing kicks out again, PayPal, Patreon down below. And let's try and, I don't know, make YouTube great again, or at least back to the slightly chaotic funhouse it used to be, instead of trying to because neat and orderly and it's very boring. Okay, there is fun to be had in a little bit of chaos here and there. So let's try and lose the girdle here. Okay, let's have fun.
Constitution, these words and the words that follow were not written only for the Yangs, but for the Khams as well.
The Khams?
They must apply to everyone, or they mean nothing. Do you understand?